There's been a bit of a narrative outside of Spurs saying, yeah, you got lucky in this game, lucky in that game, the Liverpool game, I'm even hearing them saying we got lucky in the Arsenal game to get a draw. But Si, do you think there's been an element of luck to the start of the Spurs season, or are we where we're supposed to be right now?
Obviously, like there's some instances of luck in the sense maybe during the Liverpool game as an example, but I think in general, I think we deserve to be where we are. Like that, at the end of the day, it's hard work, isn't it? Hard work, dedication, passion, commitment, all the things that we've been saying for so many years that have been lacking and just non-existent in the Spurs team and the club in general for so long now, and that's just come back into fruition. And I think this is the first time in the new stadium I've actually enjoyed going. First of all, no long journeys home, 3 or 4 hours traveling all the way back down south just after nonsense performance, and even the ones we won over the last few years have been really difficult to watch and enjoy.
And just so great, Si, that he's made your distances home shorter.
Honestly, like trust me, like there's nothing worse than a really, really long journey home after the games. So yeah, as I said, I'm enjoying it, and I think the main thing from the question is that I truly believe we deserve to be where we are at the end of the day. Sometimes, and I think the Luton game was a perfect example. In the past, we would have crumbled, and I think that it's shown a different side to us. That actually, in the nitty gritty areas that we have to play, we still look really strong, professional, and trying to still entertain the fans throughout 90 minutes. Albeit, no disrespect, is Luton, it may have been a bit different with a potential stronger team, but overall, you can't complain. And I think the whole football sphere, other than Arsenal fans, probably do agree that they're enjoying watching Tottenham, and we deserve to be where we are.
Ash, do you feel like we're creating our own luck at the moment? We are where we're supposed to be?
I think that's what it is, because when Arsenal scored that goal against Man City, they were like, you have to kind of create your own luck. That's what the pundits were saying, at least. So when it comes to Spurs, why is it any different? Why are we getting differential treatment to everyone else? That's my question. And I feel like, should we be at the top? I've said it before. Look, if you actually look at Pochettino's side, right? Peak Pochettino, I think 2016, 2017, would you say that?
Yeah.
I would say when we were wearing that, that blue top, remember it was like a half blue like that?
Last season at White Hart Lane.
Last season at White Hart Lane. Now you're with me, right?
Yeah.
People can remember. Listen. So in that season, right, would you argue the start 11 was 100%.
100%.
And it was a young squad, right? Look at the bench. What was the bench saying? The bench wasn't saying too much, was it?
George Kevin and Kudus. Didn't rate Vincent
Janssen?
You didn't rate Janssen 17 million?
Well, you know what? Kane got injured, and for a long time, Janssen had to step in. Do you know what I'm saying? And I remember Song went up top at certain times. It just feels very similar. I'm just saying, the mood is right. Like the stadium's feeling buzzing. You know what? We're loving big and says they're playing rhythms at the end. It was a. I was there, bro. The energy was. I bet you missed it. It was a party. It was a massive.
I'm still mad at that. I'm still mad at it, Ash.
The point I'm making is everyone's saying, the squad's wafer thin. But in 2015, 2016, the squad was wafer thin then. But it still did damage. We still bust up top 4. We still got third. See what I'm trying to say? And I'm thinking, with Conte, we were pushing third. He quit when we could have gone third. Now, some would argue to say that this team is better than what Conte had. Like, he's making the fullbacks are actually creating now. I think between our backline, we scored between 7 and 8 goals between that 5 backline. So we've already got goals coming from that backline that we never had before. So we needed a keeper. We got that. We needed a defensive midfielder. That was a big issue for Spurs. Guess what? We got that. We needed a creative midfielder desperately when we were playing for that top 4 race with Conte, trying to push for the top 3 or the title. And we got a creative midfielder, did we not? Now, instead of having wing backs creating, we've actually got wingers creating that position. But it's not just the wingers that are creating. It's coming from all over the pitch. And guess what? Last season, Son wasn't firing. This season, Son is firing. Are we that lucky, or are we pushing on from Conte's original team where we were pushing into that Southampton capitulation? I'm just asking questions. I could be wrong. I'm saying they're young. They're the young Poch team. This is a young Poch team. Am I moving mad? I don't know. Am I deluded? Am I delusional? Am I living a dream? Is this a Disney dream? Because if it is, don't wake me up. Don't wake me up. I don't want to know.
Sim, how are you feeling? Do you think we are getting a bit lucky at the moment?
The only element, apart from the Liverpool game, I don't think any result has been a lucky result. I think we've deserved all the results we've gotten. I think the Liverpool game, obviously, we had the referee decision with the goal going our favour, and I thought if Matip wasn't going to put it in his own net, we probably could have played for a month of Sundays, and we probably wouldn't have scored, to be honest. We didn't look like scoring. That's reality. That's what I saw in those final 20 minutes. We did not look like we were going to score. So I think from that point of view, we probably got away with one with the Liverpool game. I think we got lucky with that. But all the other results, I think not only do the results speak for themselves, I think you look at the stats, they speak for themselves. When you're watching the game, you're never really watching the game thinking, oh, we're struggling here, or we're really not playing well. We're getting really lucky. In each of those games, we're either the better team or we're very much in the game, and we're very much on top a lot of the times and playing good football.
But would you not say like maybe we were lucky not to go in behind at Manchester United in the first half when they were putting it on us? We were unlucky. We were lucky not to go in maybe 2 goals down at Arsenal at half-time when they were having all those easy chances.
Game's 90 minutes.
Yeah, I know that. But we were lucky not to maybe be further down than we were at the time.
Yeah, all right. Luton were lucky we weren't 4-0 up, you know what I mean? And then people say we were lucky to win that game, but we were unlucky not to. It goes both ways, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
100%.
I think the Arsenal game, yeah, they missed chances, but that's their fault. When we miss chances, no one turns around and says, oh, Tottenham were unlucky, they missed chances. They say, okay, you weren't good enough. That's what they say when we miss chances. And the same goes for Arsenal. And you know what? In every game, who's to say what would have happened if United took the lead or if Arsenal took the lead? We don't know what would have happened. We've still had a second half. And what I've seen from this Tottenham team is that every time we've had a struggle or a challenge in game, we've been able to find solutions and been able to adapt our game and end up gaining superiority and gaining the advantage. So who's to say that even if we go 1-0 down against United, we couldn't have turned that around? And who's to say even against Arsenal, even if it's 2-0, I'm not saying we definitely would have, but who's to say we wouldn't have? Because everyone says, oh, they missed chances. Yeah, but Brennan Johnson also forced a mad save out of Raya. Maybe we could have been 2-1 up at half-time and maybe we would have gone on to win the game. So I don't think any game has been lucky. Where I think a bit of an element of luck has come in is the fact that if you look at the fixture list, we've played the bottom 4 teams at the moment. If you look at the current bottom 4 teams, we've got 4 wins out of 4, and of our 8 games, 50% have been against the bottom 4. So that is the reality of the situation. But it's not luck that you win those games. We deserve to win all those games, and you have to earn those wins. And it's not easy to get all those wins that we have. But I guess it's a bit, I wouldn't say it's fortunate they've fallen together, but I would just say that's just the nature of the fixture list. We've played the bottom 4. Maybe we're fortunate that we're currently, I wouldn't say we're fortunate we're top of league, but I wouldn't say it's any. Sorry, I want to rephrase that. We're not fortunate. We're not fortunate to be top, but maybe us being top is a bit misleading. That's what I would say, because of the fact that we've played 50% of our games against bottom 4. Maybe it's not a fair representative of where we truly are in terms of Premier League standing. Because once we face like the likes of, even better teams, Villa, Newcastle, like there's these teams who are really good quality, but they're not like one of the top teams. So you don't have the same like motivation as we did against like an Arsenal and Liverpool to really up your game, but they sometimes can be just as hard as those games because of the quality those teams have. Once we play these kind of teams, and if we're still like consistently winning those games, then I'll be like, okay, we could be in for something. Right now, I'm delighted where we're going. We're not fortunate to be top, but I don't think being top of the league is a true measure just yet of where we really are as a team right now.
Yeah, but what? As well, just to interrupt, sorry to cut you. Just to say one thing. Normally, what will happen is we will get the lucky win, or we'll do a big result against Liverpool or Man United, and we'll play like a Sheffield United and a Luton, and then we will wet the bed. That was typical Spursy in the past. We normally don't finish our dinner.
Yeah, but was it beating Man City last season and then losing to Burnley? Was that 2 seasons ago under Conte? 2 seasons ago,
but that's a prime example where we don't put away, and now all of a sudden we're dominating the teams we're meant to be dominating, and actually we're getting the W. The W is more important than anything, because at the end of the day, you can argue, say, "Oh, you're lucky," but that the table doesn't lie.
Do you think we're riding a wave at the moment, Ash?
Definitely. I think like the culture, the energy, the way the managers come in, I think he's galvanized the club from top to bottom. I think it's the first time when you've had not just the senior team, but you've had the under 21s, under 19s, under 18s, all top of their leagues. And now
everyone's top. We just need the women's to be top.
That's it, bro. We are actually cooking. If there's a definition of what cooking is, then I think Andrew's he's definitely redefined the word cooking. I think we're doing a Barbie right now because the way the flames are throwing out everywhere, we're definitely doing something right. And I like the fact that we've got the structure of the club right now. Everyone's on the same hymn sheet. Everything seems crystal clear and there's no ambiguity. Everyone understands what their job role. And I feel like the players are enjoying playing their own football. They enjoy going to training and they're all kind of competitive. Even the ones where we think, you know, this is a given 11. Even like those players, they're playing with their highest level. Like Maddison's playing the best football of his life, in my opinion. Just what I'm trying to say. Like everyone's talking about, I didn't know Maddison could dribble. Do you know what I'm saying? Wow, Basuma, like, I think he's better than what he was at Brighton. So even starting 11, I think they've leveled up to another level. And that's everything to do with the manager coming in. And he said it himself. He likes projects where things aren't going well and he has to fix them. And that's what he's doing.
Yeah, and that's what he's done all his career. But to bring it back to a point that you said before, Ash, I want to ask Sai. You look at the Arsenal game against Man City, they score with 5 minutes to go. Martinelli takes a shot that's never going in and it deflects off a Man City player and it hits the back of the net. The end of the Liverpool game, Pedro Porro puts in a cross, it hits Matip and goes into the back of the net. Why are the narratives of those two results completely different? Like they're saying to Arsenal fans like, oh wow, they stuck in till the end, they got the victory, what a win. And then for Spurs, they're just saying, oh, it's just a lucky win. Yeah, they've beaten Liverpool's unbeaten run of, 15, 16 games or something like that. But it's just lucky. They're going to fall off at some point. Why are the two narratives twisted like that?
I don't know. I think it's always been like that, particularly with those kind of teams. I know there's a lot of soriness going around all the time. Even recalling last season, that whole big battle between City and Arsenal, the amount of games where Arsenal was scoring either in the last minute or last minutes of injury time, and people like praising that rather than saying it's lucky, etc. And that's exactly the point Sim was probably making just a minute ago, in the sense that is it really defined as luck, or is it just the pure determination that the end of the game is when the whistle goes, and that's how long you should fight for. But I think I think a lot of fans outside of Tottenham always enjoy when we're losing and not doing well. And I think this is just the case of us doing well, perhaps being in a position where we never thought we would be, let's be honest, before the season started. And I think a lot of clubs around us are feeling the same, that actually maybe they haven't progressed as well. But at the end of the day, we're 10 games in, if that, and it's so early. I don't really look at the table, to be honest, till at least sort of January/February.
Who's going to tell them that we're top?
Otherwise I go mad, like in my head. But you have to enjoy this moment, and ultimately, like, I've never cared. Certainly don't care what Arsenal fans think ever. Apart from my mother, who is an Arsenal fan, so I have to listen to her. But I know. But there's outside of that, of course, like you just can't listen to this nonsense. At the end of the day, especially the media attention, and particularly in the FA, there's always a load of Arsenal and Liverpool outlets within those industries and sectors anyway. So you've got to take it on the chin that a lot of that just comes out from a lot of noise. At the end of the day, Spurs fans, I think, have always been slightly different to a lot of fan bases. Yes, we're delusional most of the time, but I think we've got a level head and respectful to other clubs and what's going on in the leagues and things. So, for me, I don't really pay too much attention to it. I think it's just you're always going to get that. And it's just that tribal aspect of football, isn't it? And I think that's something that we always enjoy as fans anyway. It's just a bit of banter usually. In the nitty-gritty conversations that I've had with Arsenal fans, they've all in there, when you get them by themselves and stuff, they're always like
when they're not in front of people trying to show off.
Yeah, Tottenham are playing well, but then if you look at the live chat, it's a bombardment of nonsense and scammers and stuff. So yeah, it's just part of it, isn't it? And it's good fun, and it's a testament to what we're doing. At the end of the day, it's a testament. Yeah, there's a Bart Simpson book I used to have when I was younger, and he always said like, when people like go against you or they say things against you, it's actually a form of flattery. So we just got to look at it like that. So El Barto, thank you.
Yeah, did you take it in that way last season as well?
No.